Which of those four is it when you talked to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one of them. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I said it to my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
The Diddy trial revealed new footage and evidence of Diddy being responsible for Tupac's murder. A tweet reads, "Diddy faces questions about his alleged role in Tupac's murder after being mentioned 77 times in a new legal filing." As in this filing, it states, former LAPD cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Suge retaliated, having Biggie dealt with. As when the police arrested Keefe D, he did an interrogation. What was said was shared in court for the first time.
On all four of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those four is it when you talked to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one of them. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
This would then be followed up with times people confronted Diddy about being responsible for Tupac, such as this awkward breakfast clip interview.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
This would hit news headlines fast. Even 50 Cent reacted as it states, 50 Cent says he doesn't like Diddy because he had Tupac gone.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. Last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? Clip?
Yeah!
I gotta stop doing that. I've been talking to a therapist trying to help me with the I'm saying. I said crazy no reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it to my boyfriend because he got Tupac killed.
However, the physical evidence gave the courtroom chills as Keefe D explained how Diddy took out Tupac. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Vegas with the head of his record label. They went to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, and after it was over, they spotted an op in the lobby, as explained here.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly,
as security would break up the altercation between Tupac, Suge, and the ops. Tupac and Suge went back to their hotel to change and then off to a club to party it up. At around 11 p.m., they began heading to the club when things would go down in the street, as explained here.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
After the incident being a mystery for over a decade, the police investigated a concerning interview by Keefe D on DJ Vlad's show, as during an interview it begins by detailing the moments of finding Tupac and pulling up on him.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He was hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac?
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Keefe D then said Tupac was targeted because he was reaching for his firearm when stopped at the red light with the opposing vehicle.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually?
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
That's what happened.
started. at Tupac and Suge.
As Tupac already knew something was about to go down, he was getting ready, but sadly wasn't fast enough. But later on, Keefe D's interrogation with the police, which wasn't seen before, was released.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you. He looks right at you.
Yeah, he look at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of
In
the
the
line.
back seat or something.
Yeah, what do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
During the police's investigation, they also found Keefe D's reaction to Tupac's passing, which shows his true emotions.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happen. Promise to God. I feel they should, that was wrong, man. It was just wrong, purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. It never happened, dude.
But this is where it gets crazier, as many believe Diddy didn't act alone. In case you missed it, the news wrote, new updates are happening in Tupac Shakur's murder case. Rappers in the industry from Snoop Dogg, Suge, and Diddy are about to be arrested and questioned, as fans believe Snoop is responsible for Tupac's death after new evidence was found. It begins with this interview, making the feds wonder Snoop's involvement.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So
saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. When we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As Snoop mentions, he was supposed to be in the BMW, but after last-minute changes, he didn't go. This was likely due to Snoop, Tupac, and Suge having an altercation a few days prior.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Bro didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
With this all happening within 72 hours of Tupac's murder, the police are suspicious. 2 decades ago, Snoop Dogg was heavily tapped into the streets. Many speculate Snoop could have received a tip that Tupac was going to be targeted on that night, so he avoided going in the car. The feds then found another interview where Snoop claims 2 days before Tupac died, he felt Tupac hated him.
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And when did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I want to do some music with them. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to kill me, out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with him. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. This video footage of all of us hanging out.
With the internet going into a frenzy, millions of fans would begin investigating it. A viral thread then revealed Snoop Dogg got word of Tupac being a Fed. An interview from an officer revealed Tupac was an industry plant with a job of stopping the beef between the red and blue street teams.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Mutulu Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the and the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this gangster type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
With the plan not working, he suddenly passed, but it makes sense as why Snoop Dogg didn't want to be near him in Las Vegas on that night. But this thread also broke down every single piece of evidence that relates to Tupac still being alive. I couldn't even believe it when watching this 2010 interview with a rapper named Treach. In 2010, Treach was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before a show. Treach and Tupac were close homies back in the day, even working on a couple of albums together. But here's where things get very interesting. After Treach's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording and put his camera on the floor. In the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking Treach about Tupac, to which Treach responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Is Pac still alive?
Nobody knows. Y'all good?
Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
We good. Last time I saw him, he was in church.
Then just 3 weeks later, a video released from a news website showed a video of Tupac supposedly chilling in a parking lot in Cuba.
Look, zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaws. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
This created the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory ever since. However, now in 2025, it doesn't seem like just a theory anymore. Suge Knight agrees that Tupac is alive and well. He said so in many interviews for 2 decades now. An interview with Suge makes a convincing case for Tupac still being here. As he claims, Tupac was doing fine in the hospital before his passing, stating, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac were laughing and joking. I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But what's weird about this is that Tupac was supposedly in a coma. So how in the world could he and Suge be laughing if Tupac was unconscious? That doesn't seem to add up. Even in a 2008 interview, Suge said that Tupac was alive and well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital. He was conscious in the ambulance. He was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
Only 2 weeks after Suge leaked this information in that interview, he almost lost his life at a nightclub when a man used a firearm in his direction 6 times. However, Knight was hesitant to tell the police anything, as he immediately knew it was likely from talking about Tupac in a public interview. Suge's son, Suge Knight Jr., would make the same mistake. In 2018, Suge Knight's son took it to Instagram to state that Tupac was still alive and living in Malaysia. After Suge Jr. posted this, he posted another photo to Instagram showing a text conversation where someone said, "You said too much, time for you to go." We would then see Suge Knight's son post a list of photos of Tupac alongside modern-day celebs like 50 Cent and Beyonce. He made it seem like someone was after Suge Jr. for leaking all this info. On the pic with Tupac and Beyonce, he captioned it, "He never left us. They'll be after me soon." While some believe this was all a publicity stunt for Knight's son to gain clout, others believe that it was all factual, and that Suge Jr. would be the one to know more about this case than anyone else in the world, considering his father was right there on the scene.